I'd spoken in another video around the purpose and the importance of aggregators. And someone might say, oh, but this is the day and age of disintermediation. I know, a big word, right? I had to check it. I had to check it on Google when I first heard it. And I said, oh, wow, this is almost the opposite of what I'm trying to achieve. Disintermediation is a state where a major supplier wants to reach the consumers directly. They don't want any intermediaries. If there are 3-4 layers of intermediaries, it creates more bottlenecks for them, and it's understandable. In fact, sometimes with each layer, the price goes up and goes up and goes up. You might have a medication that is coming at $1 from the supplier and is getting to the consumer at $5 because of the various intermediaries. There is a drive towards disintermediation, and I know and I understand it. However, it is not feasible. Why do I say it is not feasible? Those who are major suppliers are hardly able to reach the actual consumers directly. The method, the system to put in place, the sheer audacity of the volumes that they need to confront is too much for many of the suppliers, and so they still need intermediaries. So there still is a place for aggregators, okay? Your job is not gone. However, you need to be mindful of these three things. One, you must put in place irreplaceable value that nobody can question, either in your efficiency or in your effectiveness, value in your reach, value in your pricing model or your pricing system, value in how people find it convenient to deal and manage with you. These are things that you must not compromise. Irreplaceable value, such that the supplier and the consumer factor you into their decision making. That's the kind of thing you should do. There's no entitlement mentality that would go unscarred if you are an aggregator. If you're an intermediary, please do away with entitlement mentality. Nobody owes you. Remember, they are looking for how to disintermediate. The second thing you must pay attention to is building trust. When you build trust, particularly with the consumers, it gives you soft power. I talk to those in my sector a lot around soft power and how in building trust, especially when you begin to hold yourself accountable to promises made, hold yourself accountable to customer experience and interactions, hold yourself accountable to what is happening now that matters to them, not just what matters to you. These are things that build trust, and consistency over the years will show that this person, this organization, this aggregator, when they say they will sneeze, they sneeze. If they say they will sneeze 7 times, they sneeze 7 times. How often do you break your word? Am I saying you become a superhuman and you don't break your word? No, I'm just saying, how often do you do it? And when you see it coming, how well do you manage that disappointment? It's so vital, because these are the things that you factor in when you are building trust. The third is give yourself room for monitoring. Give yourself room for evaluation. From time to time, check the system. Check that ecosystem that you are building or you have plugged into, and understand, am I still adding value? Is there another value that is required that I have not yet aware of, or I have not yet seen, or I am not yet delivering on? And how can I make sure I match up with the gap? These are things that are so important. And even the data that I have, the information I have, the insights I have, what am I doing with it? How am I helping to build up and create that value in a bigger manner, more spread out, maybe more repeatable, or more giving people more assurance, both the suppliers and the consumers? These are questions around monitoring and evaluation that you must be on top of, and reporting, because when you report, guess what? More comes to you. These are 3 things that you should look out for as an intermediary, and if you're doing it well, you should be in my DM telling me how you're growing and growing and growing.